Well, inflation and taxes, those are the two top issues of debate when it comes to the Manchin-backed spending bill. An op-ed for the Washington Examiner says, though it's called, quote, the Inflation Reduction Act, it doesn't actually reduce inflation. The Wall Street Journal editorial board dubs it the Schumer-Manchin tax increase on everyone. They say their Senate bill hits U.S. manufacturing especially hard, and it raises taxes on Americans who make less than $400,000 a year. I'm pretty sure that's mostly everybody here in America. Let's bring in Art Laffer. He's former economic advisor to President Reagan, author of the new book, Taxes Have Consequences. It is out next month. Art, Penn's business school took a look at this. They say that it actually increases, the bill increases inflation through 2024, and then from there moving forward, we'll begin to reduce it. Maybe not a winning political message.
Well, it may not be a good political message, but it's surely not a good economic message. I mean, you literally, Jillian, you can't tax an economy into prosperity. You can't. And if you reduce the supply of goods and services through taxes, that's only going to lead to higher inflation, not less inflation. So government spending and tax increases is the exact wrong thing to do right now. Now, I'm really pleased that the original Build Back Better bill has been pared way, way down, but it should be taken to zero. And I think Manchin did a great job in paring that first Build Back Better bill way down. But this time he stopped short of doing the complete job, which he should have killed the bill completely, totally. And then we did have a chance of bringing that inflation under control without destroying the economy. But this makes those chances much, much less likely.
So let's get into the specifics. Republicans say here that what this bill does do is give billions to the wealthy to help buy electric cars, raises taxes on, I guess, energy companies who are producing on federal lands, and then it gives tens of billions to health insurance companies. Is that fair?
No, it doesn't matter what they're spending this on. It's government spending, and you know it's spending inefficiently, inappropriately, and against markets. So that spending, in this case, we don't need more spending, Jillian. We have a total debt to GDP of about 125%, the highest since right after World War II, and we've wasted that money on producing bad stuff. I mean, paying people to leave the labor force, all of that. This spending in aggregate is really the wrong way to go. And it doesn't matter where the boondoggles occur this time. They're occurring, and it's just not the right thing to do.
So, Art, the White House has denied repeatedly now that we're in a recession. They say that while inflation is high, American households are really doing just fine. The Wall Street Journal, though, is out with this today. Consumers have powered through the pandemic and inflation until now. Families are paring back purchases of items such as electronics and furniture as prices for essentials like food and gas have become more expensive. Many consumers who weathered the pandemic with the help of government stimulus and fewer expenses of their own are now running out of steam. What do you say, Art?
Yeah, well, let me just say that the unemployment rate is very, very low. It is truly low. It's showing some signs of going up, but it is very low. But really more importantly, Jillian, yeah, it's good. I mean, it's good if you're in that area. But let me tell you what's not good is we have 525,000 people less employed than we did in February of 2020. We have not even caught back up to where we were prior to the pandemic on total employment. We're 6.1 million jobs short of the trend line from that. So this is, people are leaving the labor force like mad. And part of that leaving is reducing the unemployment rate, but part of it's also reducing the employment rate. We have a really serious problem on people not wanting to work and not being in the labor force. That's our serious problem, and there's no unemployment rate low that offsets the huge drop in total employment. That's the big number here.
Take a listen to this Paul Krugman, economist over at the New York Times, what he said on CNN over the weekend.
I know him.
None of the usual criteria that real experts use says that we're in a recession right now. And what does matter? The state of the economy is what it is. That's partisanship. People want it. It's the Biden recession. They want their Biden recession. They're going to have it. Never mind the fact that that it in fact is not a recession in any technical sense.
So critics obviously say that whether, we're in a recession, not in a recession, about to be in a recession, the point here is that the White House is on defense. They are arguing about semantics right now, defending their policies, so they're automatically on the losing side.
Yeah, they are. But the truth of the matter is, Jillian, we had a drop in total production of goods and services in the first quarter of this year at an annual rate of 1.6%. That's a huge drop. I mean, very rarely do we. Then in the second quarter, we had a drop of 0.9%. That's 2 quarters down. And that is a very serious decline, and it is the end of the recovery for sure. Now, if Paul Krugman wants to call it, I think it was under Jimmy Carter, they called it a big banana instead of a recession. Jimmy Carter outlawed the use of the word recession for all of his employees. So they, instead of saying recession, they called it a big banana. If you want to call it a big banana, that's fine, but it's 2 quarters down in real GDP, which is the common phrase, the common definition is that is what they called a recession. Change the name. The truth is we've had 2 down quarters in real GDP, which is a tragedy, really a tragedy in this economy.
The common man's recession, the recession for folks making less than $400,000 a year. You could call it any of those things. Art, we got to leave it there, but thanks so much for joining us this morning.
Oh, thank you so much, Jillian. Thank you.